Good morning, everyone. My name is Kimberlie Wright. Welcome to Hand-Built Pottery and sometimes Sculpture. But today, actually, our class is just called Hand-Built Pottery. Today is April the 23rd. It's Friday. It's 2021. It's such a beautiful day to be here, be alive, and be blessed for every little thing that you have or that you can be grateful for. All right, so today, speaking of today, we're going to go ahead and talk about our holidays for today. The holidays as follows, or events for Friday, April 23rd, is a day of silence. Impossible Astronaut Day. National Cherry Cheesecake Day. National Picnic Day. National Take a Chance Day. Shakespeare Day. St. George's Day. And World Book Day. So we were talking about books yesterday, talking about taking your children to work with you, take your kids to work with you. And I love books. And I just want to say one way that you can celebrate World Book Day is to actually read a book. Read a book. If you don't want to read a book alone, then read a book to one of your grandchildren or children, that type of thing. So today we're going to have a demo, and the demo is going to be about design and decoration. So I'm going to type in the chat what the demo is today. It's going to be sponge decoration with glaze. And so the first thing I want to say is, I'm going to just show you, you've all seen some of these sponges before. Today I have a few sea sponges that I probably won't even use. These are called sea, S-E-A, sea sponges. And I have several kinds. You see this one is kind of like busted at the edge, but it makes a beautiful shape. So these replicate things in the sea sponges. All right. You can also use your regular sponge that you buy from the store. This is brand new. It doesn't have any type of dust or particles or debris in it. So that's why I can use that, so I can have a clean sponge to use in my paint, glaze. And also I have this particular sponge here. This is what I'm going to use today. And so I don't really have anything too large to paint. I'm just going to paint the things that we saw yesterday in class. However, what I'm going to paint today is this heart jewelry dish, which is really a ring holder. And I'm going to paint something on this house, which is a incense burner. And possibly this little miniature hat that we were making that were actually tea party hats or fascinators. All right, so I have just a minimal amount of glazes. I have just a few that are my own personal glazes, so that's all that I have to use. And they are basically, only have two under glazes, and the rest of them are crystal glazes. I have this small jar of velvet underglaze, which is red brown, medium brown. Those are the only two that I have that I'm working with. I have Jungle Gems Blue Caprice, Jungle Gems is the brand name. I have Purple Cosmos. I have Mocha Marble, Jungle Gem. And one last glaze I have, it says Terracotta Base, but I'm almost sure it might be a Jungle Gem Masquerade. So without further ado, step by step, if you wanted to take your time and grab a sponge or something to do the project along with me, feel free. If not, you can definitely, you can definitely look back on this video on YouTube later and look for sponge decoration with glaze demo, and it will be there. So once again, I said I'm going to use this sponge that a lot of people use to clean their cars. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take a black ink pen and just draw out a few squares the size that I want my, I'm going to do that with a Sharpie, the size that I want my stamps to be. So as you can see, I got 2 lines on that, and I'm going to go ahead and draw that into 4 blocks, 8 blocks, sorry. So the reason why I'm making such small stamps is because I need small stamps with smaller pieces, and I need larger stamps with larger pieces, larger projects that I'm actually completing. Give me 1 second. I need to put something on my lap. I don't have my apron right now, so that this sponge doesn't get everywhere on my clothing. All right, so from there, I'm gonna take this ink pen to try to get a skinnier line than what the Sharpie is giving me. So my first sponge shape, I think I'm gonna draw a heart. Since I'm doing a design on a heart-shaped dish, and even in the size of that shape, you see that it's really small. I'm gonna go ahead and do another shape that looks like an upside down U. And then I'm gonna put another curve up under that. Looks like a moon to the side. All right, from there I'm going to make 2 stamps. One is gonna be like an L, and the other one will be just like a rectangle. So I think that's all I'm gonna use for right now. I'm gonna go ahead and cut those out with a regular pair of scissors. Just have to take your time and cut slow.
Why are you frowning?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Maybe because the scissors hurt my hand a little bit.
Okay. I can hardly wait to see how this is gonna come out.
Me too. Me too, don't worry. Okay, so again, you see I have to cut slowly. Cut as slowly as you need to. So this is just giving you all another technique of how you can be creative and use your abilities to create more beautiful art. So you can see I cut the 3 off, and I'm going on ahead to cut those as best as I can. I don't have to cut it so straight because I know I'm cutting right around the shape. But the only one I'm really having to cut straight is the piece with the L and the rectangle. Somebody had a question? So who was that asking where I'm from? Miss Regina?
No,
Oh, that's Miss Ethereal.
that's me.
Oh, I'm looking ugly or something?
I've never seen you frown.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing.
I've
All
heard
right.
the words that come out of your mouth, but I've never seen you frown.
That's not funny. All right. So when you get around the actual shape of the cutting around the shape of whatever you're actually doing, you just have to be careful. As you can see, I have the top shape pretty neat. If I need to go back and snip anything off to clean it up, I can. But as you can see on the bottom, it's not so neat. It's just a portion to hold. All right.
Wait a minute, Kim, you cut around the heart shape that you drew on the sponge?
Not yet. I just did the L and the rectangle.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm going into the moon shape. I have to cut all 3. I'm cutting it right now. And basically, like I said, the bottom portion does not have to be so neat. It's actually the top, because that's where you're gonna get your sponge in the paint. It's not that simple. You just gotta take your time, and actually it's just really a experimental process to see what you're gonna get. And I would say that these probably would be able to cut better if they were a little sharper. So probably if you have some sharper scissors or something like that, it might work a little better. All right, so far this is what I have here. I think that's pretty good. Although I am going to trim right here a little bit more. All right. And then I have one more to do, and we're going to start the painting process.
Oh my goodness.
I know. So now I'm cutting the heart. She said, oh my goodness. I'll show y'all as I cut it. I just cut the bottom portion out. Now I'm cutting around the 2 tops. I was gonna pre-have this cut before I even started the class, but I knew somebody was gonna ask me, how did you cut those? So I just said, I will make sure to do it step by step. I'm just snipping around that as slow as I need to so that I don't mess up that little groove in the heart.
Can we do that with a thinner sponge rather than that thick one like that?
Yes, ma'am. I just showed you, like even this. I'm saying you can use this sponge.
Okay.
You can experiment with any kind of sponge you like. The reason why I am using this thick sponge is to have something to hold on to, so it won't be so flimsy in my hand.
Okay.
For me, you know, everybody's different. Okay, this is the heart I just cut out. Looks like something's on it. Okay, it was. Let me just clip that off.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and start with my heart design here. First thing I want to do is choose the color that I'm going to use, which is probably going to be, I think I want to use blue caprice on the stem, the ring stem, and use purple cosmos all over the heart. So this purple cosmos just needs a little water. Get my towel to clean up. And then I'm going to close that up and shake it. And so I have something to hold on to. I'm going to do the stem second. I'll do the heart first and hold on to the stem and do the stem second. So that looks pretty good. One rule to using sponge design is really no rule per se. You just have to actually experiment to see what works well for you. However, if your glaze is on the sponge too light, then your color will look muddled and not dark enough. And if your sponge is too wet, then when you press down, the glaze will drip. So just be careful. You will start to get the consistency once you really start to paint. All right. So here I'm going to just blot my sponge into the glaze and look at it and make sure it looks level and not dripping, not too heavy, but not too thin. And just start to actually try to make this design around here, so to speak, in an even fashion. And sometimes if you press down and you see that it didn't come off well enough, that means you probably need some more. So it could be that this is not making a complete heart shape because of the crystals. But even still, I like it. And it's kind of hard to get up in there. I'm just going really slow with the stem being in the way. I see one more I can do, like off to the side here. Here. And that looks pretty good. So yes, I'm gonna do a few around the edge. Yes.
So can you do a base color and then do your stencil?
Yes, you can. Because I was just gonna say that you can paint however you like, but just be mindful in the classroom setting. If I give you all a challenge to say, paint a certain project that we make only with sponge, you have to be prepared to only use sponge.
It's looking good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Thank you. I see one more space that I kind of just want to put one in. And I hope I don't mess anything up, which I kind of just blotted something. But when this dries really good right here, you know, I can clean that up. So what I'm gonna do now is just go ahead and, I'm not even gonna clean that sponge. I'm just gonna kind of blend with the purple and the blue cosmos. Just pour a little bit in the lid. I think that's liquidy enough. And I'm gonna just go ahead and start to paint the stem. It's only gonna look like a heart on the larger surface because the skinnier part is not gonna take the full shape. I'm turning it upside down now. Is that Prince Noah here?
Nah, he's asleep.
Okay. All right, so I had an idea before, I'm finished with this heart one for today. I had an idea before class even started that I wanted to let you all know to always take risk and be experimental.
Always do what?
Take risk. Take
Okay.
risk. That's
Okay.
taking risk means to be creative. If you be creative, what you're doing is really taking risk. You're trying to do something that you've never done before, or you've never heard anybody do, just trying different things out. So, you can cut a potato in pieces and draw shapes on them and cut a potato out and try potato stamping. Also, the flower that I had in my head yesterday, I said I was going to use that to see what type of design it would possibly give me. But however, I don't want to do it. I wanted to do it on something that had a larger surface. Every piece that I have is like really small. So what I said I probably would try it on is this hat thingy. All right. So what I'm going to do is use two colors. I'm going to use this Masquerade, which is probably a little liquidy, which I think that's the consistency I want. And I'll use the purple. All right, so all I'm gonna do is kind of just dip this flower into the lid of the glaze. And just kind of work it around a little bit, lifting it up, making sure that I'm getting some of the paint on the flower, which is not retaining a lot, so I need a little bit more. All right. Actually, the petals of the flower probably really won't soak up the glaze. That's what it is, because every time I soak it in here, it's really happening. So I'm just keeping it on there for a couple of seconds so that it can get the design, which I don't know what kind of design that is. But I'm just gonna go ahead and use that to make my design on my hat.
It looked like a splash.
Yep, a mess. So once again, that was experimental, but I'm just gonna go ahead and run with that.
Wow.
When this dries, I'm gonna do something in the inside of the hat, which it can just be really abstract because the inside of the hat, nobody's gonna see. All right.
Kim,
Yes, ma'am.
you took a risk. You took a risk, and it turned out to be art.
It turned out to be something.
Oh.
Thank you. So I really want to put these glazes up, but for the sake of being on camera, I'm going to go ahead and keep going because I have to really clean those lids out before I put the glaze, close the glazes so that they won't be stuck. You all know that. And right now I'm going to go ahead and go to red brown.
It's hard to understand what you're saying when you turn your head away from it.
I said I really want to go ahead and clean those glazes out, but since I'm in class, I'm going to keep going because you have to really clean the lids out so they don't get stuck. You all know that.
Right.
That's what I was saying. All right, I'm waiting on this to dry so I can do the back side. And what I might do on the back side is both colors together. Okay, it's dry enough. Let me just go ahead and finish that, and then I'm gonna go straight to the house. So I have my blue Caprice again. And I'm gonna go ahead and do even hearts all over the back of this.
That heart shape coming out good.
It did what?
It's coming out clear. I can
Yeah,
tell that it's a heart.
I'm getting the hang of stamping it now, so it's kind of coming out clear.
Oh.
That's why I said as you continue going, you'll start noticing how much paint to put on it and not. And so what I was doing before was putting the sponge in the paint each time, but I realized all I had to do was do it until the paint is used up, and it'll make better hearts. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the purple, do the other hearts to mix all it up, and that's gonna be it. I mean, I really wanted to paint this ring holder differently, but to be able to show you a new demo of how you can make your own sponges and create beautiful things, I just decided to scratch without how I was really gonna paint this today. I needed something to paint, so I chose this. Once again, this is a little bit sketchy because it's a crystal glaze, and you can see a little drip right there. It's because those rocks are kind of making it get distorted a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna sit that to the side. Yes, ma'am. I'm sitting that to the side like so, and now I'm going to this little house. I'm gonna paint the roof of the house with that moon shape that I had, like a half moon shape, but actually I call it a half moon shape, but I was hoping it looked like a one of those terracotta type roof things that people have on Spanish homes. So anyway, I have my red brown, and I'm going into the red brown. The shape isn't all the way how I like it, but it might look neat once I finish. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go into the roof evenly and across. I think I'm gonna start at the top. And maybe in between where the white is, that'll probably look like a brick or something. Who knows? Looks like I can only press that 2 to 3 times. Someone please be mindful of your television. This could have been a little neater, but it's still okay.
They kind of look like those little things that Pac-Man be eating.
Who, Pac-Man?
Yeah.
You talking about the ghost?
Yeah. 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 The ghost.
Okay.
Gloria, great minds work a lot because when she drew it, that's what I saw.
Ah,
Okay.
What are you making? I'm sorry, I just got into class.
I'm showing them how to, I just cut out different shapes in sponges, and we're actually doing a sponge decoration with Glaze demo,
Oh, okay.
where I'm showing you how you can paint with sponges and not use a brush.
you save on glaze like that too, don't you? It seems like you're using a whole lot less.
Well, I would say you could be using less, but then don't forget that Glaze is soaking into the sponge as well. I think you're using less.
Well, that's true.
I think you're using less. And so that's all I'm gonna complete on the roof, except for I probably just think of, I'm sorry, except for I'm gonna do the edges, not here because I have this flower design that I'm gonna paint separately. So right now I'm just gonna go down the edge. Sponge design. And trust me, if you try this design, if you try this technique on somebody, please be mindful of your background noise. Sounds like somebody using a machine or something. All right. If you decide to use the technique, you'll find that if you have a larger surface area, that things will probably look much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These are really small pieces. Oh man, I looked up at the screen and went out of the line. But I'll be able to fix that later. I'm going up under that seam of the roof. And that's all I want to do today. Okay, so you all saw the heart design that I did. I'm gonna clear glaze that, just like that. I'm going back to do the inside of the hat now. I scratched the flower design, so I'm gonna use this, I guess we had an L shape. I think I'll use the rectangular one. And I'm gonna use the blue caprice.
What is that design again?
Rectangle.
Okay.
This is just the inside of the hat. I said it's gonna be really abstract because nobody's gonna see the inside of the hat anyway, except I guess the person is wearing it. I'm just showing you still that you can get some beautiful shapes out of this. And you have to be creative. You can make different background designs first, or paint your background, then put shapes on top of it. You know, you don't always have to have a white base or background like Miss Diana was asking. Then I'm just gonna.
That's pretty for a simple design. It just made it pretty.
Thank you. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go around the edge of the hat. That's gonna be finished. You might ask yourself, if you made some of those miniature hats, what could you possibly do with them? If you are a doll collector, you can sit them on top of dolls. You can give them to your female children for their dolls. You can also just put them in a curio shelf or some type of a cabinet where they can be displayed. So I'm just turning this upside down so that that can dry, cleaning my hands, moving my sponges, and as rudimentary or simple as those may seem, I'm going to wash them out still and keep them and reuse them another time. All right, I always have something to clean up. I have some, as you can see, disinfecting wipes over there to clean up my area. And right now, I would like to say, do you have any questions, suggestions, or anything about the class or our upcoming slideshow, photographs, anything about, any questions about the demo that I gave today? Young people? Hold on one sec. Any questions, young people?
We can take some of that leftover clay and make some shapes also to put on the clay itself. You know, you make shapes inside clay. Your
Meaning stamps?
yes.
Yes, you can make stamps with clay, and also they have if you go to Davin's or any other type of pottery or ceramic stores, you'll see that they sell stamps. And generally the stamps that they sell are some Japanese stamps that some companies make, like with little different fish, kois, and all kind of little different designs. So they have rubber on them. You have wooden stamps. You can make clay stamps. Yes, you can. And sponges are just really handy. They're disposable. You can throw them away and remake more at any time. Anybody else have any questions? Any staff people want to make any announcements? Any staff persons want to make any announcements? Okay, I hope you enjoyed our sponge decoration with Glaze demo today. And I hope you are very creative to create some of your own. You can look back at this video next week on YouTube. And I've had a lot of fun with you today. It's a very simple project, but it's gonna like take your creativity a long way. Thanks so much for your support and joining this class. Please tell someone else, a senior preferably, about it, or someone else that would love to take pottery about the class. And once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. My name is Kimberlie Wright. Thanks for joining Hand Built Pottery. Have a wonderful and blessed day and weekend.
You too.
Thank you so much. You too.